I think that's what Saylor was saying when I don't know if he mentioned, he's like, taking a loan out on your house and putting it into Bitcoin. I think it was like out of context, like the way he said it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you can go get a 30-year loan right now for 2.6%, right?
Right.
And then you can turn around and go to even like a super centralized Coinbase and get 4% on USDC, right? So like 4
Yeah.
minus 2, like carry the 1, like,
Yeah.
it's like, it's pretty simple math right there to understand that like there's outperforming assets. And, the one thing that I love is that, like I was saying, like a lot of people don't understand traditional finance. And this is bringing in a whole new class of people that are understanding NFTs is the first time they get in, and they're like, okay, I got to get Ethereum. And then like, ooh, if I press this button on Curve or wherever I'm at, then I get this interest rate. And it's just this whole new training of finance that's going on. And I think you're exactly right, where it's like, the way I try to explain it to a generation or anyone that doesn't really understand what's going on is, if you can get 8% on a stable coin, the amount of money that you need to put in to expose to that risk is much lower to get the same yield that you get from, I don't know what the number one like interest bearing account is, probably like a Marcus at like Goldman Sachs for like 2% or something like that on some sort of like CD, certificate of deposit, which is like crazy to even think about that word. But it's like you need to put, so if you've got $1 million to get the same, 3% that you were going to get there, you only need to put $100,000 in, so it's like your risk, your exposure is different. And so I think that's like gets people over the hump. They're like, oh, okay, like I can get the same return, but I only need to put this at risk. But it also has a lot to do with like age and the person. And, if someone's worked their entire life to get this thing and they just truly, they're like, the best question I always get is like, well, where does it go? Like, where does the money, when I press this button, where does it go? And so I always say, well, where does it go when you give it to the bank? Right? They're like, well, the bank has it. I was like, well, the bank doesn't have it.
Nope.
They have
Nope.
0% reserve requirements. I go, didn't you watch like It's a Wonderful Life? Like it's in his house or their house or wherever. So I was like, it's the same thing. I was like, but the bank's running, AWS or Microsoft servers. And the DeFi protocol is probably doing the same, right? That's why Bitcoin's, Bitcoin is because you don't have to worry about it. But it's people like I'm already past them, right? So it's like you just have to say, put a little bit of money in, press the button, see what happens, and like that's how they have to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. The best way to learn is to just do it, right? Like to actually just jump in and start trying things. So, yeah, that's my advice to anyone out there who is, looking to try DeFi for the first time. You just gotta go in and try it, bud.